Yo, welcome back to a brand new Craftopia video. In today's video, I want to talk to you guys about the latest Xbox update. Now, as always, if you enjoyed this video, please do drop a like and subscribe. Comment down below of any help that you may need in the game or your opinions on this update. But let's do this. So on November the 10th, Pocket Pair added a new patch for Xbox only. And the reason it was only on Xbox was because it was features that were either removed or weren't added to Xbox in the first place being adjusted. One of those is the settings. Now previously we had access to a whole bunch of settings on console that wasn't even needed and made no impact to performance. Then an update hit and removed the settings completely and locked people at a preset settings. Now I don't think this was a good idea. I released a settings video back when we had the full settings and I had so many people, and I'm talking thousands of people, tell me how much of an improvement it made on their game to be able to change those settings. Shortly after, an update hit, wiped the settings. The settings were removed. There was nothing to change. You were locked at what the game wanted you to be locked at. Now, I've already expressed my opinion about this and how I think it is one of the worst decisions Pocket Pair had made, but now it is completely irrelevant because the settings are back. Or at least some of them. And to be honest, it's probably the most important settings, so that's a great thing. As I mentioned, on the old settings, there was a lot on there that did absolutely nothing. It had zero impact on console. It actually took me about 2 weeks of testing every day, each setting, making notes about each one, noticing frames, all that kind of thing, to try and find the perfect settings. And what I found out from that was, yes, there was some that drastically changed the FPS and improved the performance overall, but majority of them did nothing, had no effect whatsoever on performance, but they were there and they were adjustable to make you think that if you changed them, it was going to do something. So if I didn't test all that and a lot of people just had to guess their settings, they probably would have been a little bit flustered with so many things to change and they can't notice anything visibly changing. But that's simply because there was nothing changing. Some of those settings were just void because they don't work on a console. They were just the full PC settings onto a console. So what they have done is they have removed majority of the settings, but they have brought back three, and they have brought back three very important ones. So they have brought back rendering resolution, render distance, and toggle shadows. Now this is absolutely great. Great settings, probably the most important ones when it comes to trying to increase your performance, so that's great. I do think they could add a couple more back. For example, on PC you can have your shadows enabled, but you can choose at how far that they render in, things like that. That may be useful to try and find that perfect balance for you, but I'm not going to complain whatsoever. Console people have some settings back which should absolutely help your performance, and I have heard from quite a few people that since adding these settings back and they can make some adjustments, that their games are running a hell of a lot better. So that is huge, that is great. That's exactly what we want to hear. It was the reason we had settings in the first place, was to be able to make some of those changes. So it's great that now it's just a very simplified form. Maybe we get more settings one day to be able to maybe just change certain things that you don't like or whatever it may be. It would be cool to see some more, but having some to adjust some performance even slightly is great. Having no settings at all was really turning people away from the game. So that is a fantastic part of this patch and something that should never have been needed, because the settings shouldn't have been removed in the first place. They should have just removed the ones that did nothing and just kept it that way. At least then, until they had released this patch, people would have been able to make some slight adjustments to make their game better. Instead, they've been locked in this 30 FPS hellhole for a little while now. But up next, they have also added, and I think this is one of the best things they have done since the game's release, and that is to be able to back up your saves on console. This is huge. This has been something that PC has had since day one, and console just didn't have the option to be able to do that. And then it just so happened that PC never had a save data issue, while console got a whole bunch, which is just typical that if your platform can't back up your saves, it's bound to be the one to go wrong. And that's exactly what happened. People's saves were being wiped, worlds were being completely deleted, things inside the game were just being removed, crashing was causing all kinds of things to break and things to disappear. So at least now you have that option to back your game up. The only thing is your autosave doesn't back up. So you can autosave as much as you like and the game will save. But if you were to then reload a backed up save, it will be the one that you manually did. So now if you press start, you should now have save and backup save. You have to do this manually. So anytime that you do something big in the game, be sure to save and back up the save. I would actually go down the route of almost forgetting autosave and just use that manual save and the manual backup save, purely because you want it to be able to back up each bit of progress as you go. Now this could be something they are working on, because previously on PC we could back up our saves too. Then they added the option that when we press start, it now says save and back up every 5 minutes, meaning your autosave timer is also your save and backup save. So it means regardless of what you do in the game, it backs up that save. That's what you kind of need on console, but anything is better than nothing. So all I would advise now is getting in the routine of pressing start and saving and backing up your save, because we don't know what problems are going to come in the future. There's updates due to drop within the next month, more content updates, so we just don't know what is going to break, what might stop working. So get a backed up save in, make sure everything's safe, so regardless of what they add to the game, you will be absolutely fine. Now fortunately, I haven't heard anything bad about this update. I haven't heard it break anything new, I haven't heard it not work. All I've heard is positive things, saying that it's now working better. The backup save works fine, everything works good. So make sure to let me know what your experience is with this patch. Is it working as good? Is it not working as good? Are the settings making no difference to you, or have they changed your game completely and it's now running beautifully? Please do let me know. But I do think this update is absolutely awesome. And little patches like this are exactly what we need to be able to get to console to a smooth running platform as soon as possible. The sooner we can get Xbox running smooth, the sooner we can merge the two games and introduce things like crossplay, proper dedicated servers, and a bunch of new content that I'm sure they're holding off because they just don't want to break the game anymore. The save issue we had and games being wiped was the biggest problem of them all, but it's good to see everything seems to be back to where it should be. Now it's just about keeping it there. One last little thing, I want to apologize for being inactive over the last few days. My streams and my videos have been a bit scarce, but that's purely because recently I've been dealing with the passing of my uncle, and we've just been really focusing on family time, as well as I had his funeral yesterday, so things have been a bit rough around here, but everything is back to normal now. I appreciate all your kind words and support while I've been dealing with this difficult time. You're all absolutely amazing. I love you all. Now, as always, if you enjoyed this video, please do drop a like and subscribe. Comment down below with any help that you may need in the game, or what did the update do for your game personally. But most importantly, enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace!